The light is not as great as I hope it would be. But, are you comfy? Anyway, I use my favorite technique in museum, which is looking at only one paintings. I've been in the Chagall Museum before, and I stopped on this one, which is Adam and Eve. I went for this one because I don't know. It talked to me out of the blue. It was the first one. Like, okay, it's completely at the back of the museum. The last painting of the series of 17 paintings Chagall did on the biblical message. By the way, they renamed the museum the National Museum instead of the Biblical Museum, which is kind of a nonsense because that's the story of the Bible. But anyhow, politics, right? And what is interesting is like this Adam and Eve. There's a lot of things, but I found something really funny that is not in the books. So let's talk about that painting. Yeah, so the fun fact is like, so it's a series of 17 biblical series. It's a kind of massive painting, I would say, maybe 4x3 or something like that. And this one, what I really like the most is there's two things. There's Adam and Eve together under the tree of knowledge. Chagall called it the tree of life for some reason, but it is mostly a tree of knowledge. And they look like they're only one character with 2.5 legs and only 2 arms, 2 heads. The Eve sounds like she's not in a good day, and the snake, on the contrary, looking at that apple, so she's really skeptical and kind of mad at the apple, which is interesting. And because clearly that test by God is that we always think that Eve failed. But actually she did not. Without Eve proposing the apple to Adam, there would be no humanity. That's how the myth goes. So that's what she had to do, the tough job, which is basically still what women have to do today to go through giving birth. So creating humanity. What interests me is like if you look at the there, so there's Adam and Eve right there. You can hardly see the snake, which is kind of hidden for some reason. You can see the angel when they're fleeing a little bit later. They both really together had a couple. Adam is like supporting the breast, which means by doing that she became a future mother. That means the eating that apple is to Chagall a way to say, okay, that's it, now we can move on and be numerous and basically apply what God used to say. Next thing you know, and that's way more interesting to me, and is the representation of God itself. As almost everyone knows, but I'm going to say it eventually, in the Jewish religion, you can't represent God. As a matter of fact, you can't say the name of the Creator. Many religions have this kind of thing. Some religions, like Hinduism, prefer to represent it like ad infinitum, etc., etc. So it's really depending on the culture. There's many studies on subject. It's super, super interesting, but we don't have the time for that now. And it's not what I'm talking about today. What is interesting is like, and you read that in most guidebooks, and I think it's like, it's questionable. Like they say, Chagall represented God as kind of a divine white shape. Now I want you to look at that divine white shape, okay? Look at it very closely. I don't know what kind of shape that, unless you guys are into bowling, then it could be like, what you're hitting with a bowler keel, but I don't look at it like this. To me, the shape is pretty clear. So maybe it's just my own mind. They say it's a cocoon. I mean, a cocoon is supposed to look like an egg. I mean, we've all seen an egg before. so I won't go with that whole cocoon. Kind of sorry. So yeah, the whole story is good. Again, the colors of Chagall are absolutely fantastic. A little bit later, I'll probably do a piece about an angel, which is the rainbow by Noah, which is so fascinating story about Noah, which is white because of the diffraction of light, and the fact that the name Noah means resting, and so that's why Noah is resting. Is also the first drunk of the Bible, which is also interesting. So anyway, I'm at my desk. I'm gonna hit that right now. This is the first day of reopening of museums today in France, May 19th, 2021. I can't tell you how happy I am. I would have been happier with meeting some people ready to answer questions and tell me their impressions, but I guess I'll have to wait for tomorrow. You guys take care. No matter what you do, do it with a smile.